Okay, most asked question obviously is, okay, if I'm being honest with you guys, I've tried to start this Q&A in like 3 different locations of my house, but the entire house either has bad lighting or is messy, so we're dealing with the playroom as is today. But the boys are asleep, Emma's watching Snow White, so this is my only time to film this, and I'm going to film this. I decided to do a Q&A today, 1, because I haven't done one for this pregnancy yet, and I typically do one for every pregnancy, and 2, because I have so much to get done today for our trip to Hawaii next week that I just need time to like do it. I just gotta get it done. But I got a ton of amazing questions on my Instagram stories this morning, and I'm so excited to kind of go through them all and give you guys some answers, some really exciting things that we have. I don't know, I'm just excited. Also, I'm sorry, I'm always doing this when I'm doing Q&As. I'm just a very expressive person. I think I've got like 15 questions, which is the perfect amount because I tend to talk too much. So we're gonna jump right into it. Also, Justin's not here because he's actually getting his hair cut right now. And like I said, this is my only time today to get this video done. So he sends his love, but he's at his haircut. Did you do anything different to get pregnant naturally? Did you like take any vitamins? So no, because with this pregnancy, we literally were not trying to get pregnant. We weren't purposefully timing anything. We weren't taking extra vitamins. We weren't doing like, I got a couple questions about like, were you doing like temperatures? Nothing like that. This was completely unplanned, obviously. So no, we didn't really do anything different. I mean, I'm trying to think if there could have been something different, but I really don't think so. I think this just happened and it's crazy. And then this is kind of like a follow-up to that question, but is after this baby, will you guys start being more careful? The answer to that question is yes. Now that this has happened, there's a reason for us to be careful. After the boys' pregnancy and Emma's, we never used birth control or any methods of birth control because we were under the assumption this would never happen for us. Now we know that it has, even though it's such a low percentage of it happening, we know that it has happened. And so we will have to be more careful as far as like birth control and everything going forward. Oh, and then this question kind of goes with that same one, which was, has Justin been checked again since you got pregnant to see if his like numbers got better? He hasn't yet, but we are absolutely planning on getting that testing done. With the trip coming up and Christmas and everything, we hadn't gotten that scheduled. I'm gonna call the fertility clinic, I think, when we get home from Hawaii, because he is super curious to know what his numbers are, if they did improve or if this was just totally random and happened. I'm so curious to hear as well. So we're both definitely wanting to know. I think it's only like, I think our clinic said it was like $125 for the test, which is really not that bad. And we both really want to know like if this was like his numbers improved and now we know like it's not as, I guess, uncommon, or if this was just one little swimmer who got his way in and it was just totally unexpected. So we're gonna call the fertility clinic, I think, when we get home from Hawaii and kind of like see if we can get that test done sooner rather than later, just to know, just because we're both super curious. Next question was, are you getting induced or waiting until the baby comes naturally? I'm actually not sure about this yet. We are hoping for a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after a cesarean, just because for me, a C-section was really hard on my body. The recovery was a lot worse. Emma's recovery was fairly easy and she was a big baby, so that's what we're hoping for. Obviously, as long as it ends up being safe, there is like a small percentage, I believe, of uterine rupture with a VBAC. I don't know too much about it yet, so I will be talking to the doctor more and more as the pregnancy progresses, but I have gone into labor naturally on my own now with the boys, and then I was induced with Emma. So I've done it both ways. I would prefer to go into labor naturally. That would be my hope, but I will definitely be talking to him and see what that looks like for us as we get closer to the summertime. I need app ideas for first-time moms. The only pregnancy app I use is called The Bump. I've used it with every pregnancy. I just really like it. It gives like a 3D picture of what the baby looks like, as well as your body. It gives lots of facts, how big they are, etc., etc. It's the only one I've used. I also did use the Clue app to track my periods before we got pregnant. I was tracking my periods for the fertility clinic because they like to know a lot about your cycle, etc. And I was using the Clue app. So both of those I highly recommend. They're really, really good. How do you feel feel about this being your last pregnancy? Has to be bittersweet. And then, is this your last baby? This is gonna be our last baby. I mean, at least as far as we have decided, this is going to be our last baby. So I think what we're planning on doing is Justin is going to get snipped for after this baby is born. Now that we know that this has happened and can happen, it is our plan for this to be our last baby, which is super bittersweet. I wouldn't say that I love being pregnant, at least not in the first trimester. That's where my head is at right now. However, it is super bittersweet to know that like after this baby, I don't hang on to any baby items anymore, and that those things just we get to give to somebody else or whatever. So that's really hard for me. I feel like I haven't quite grasped that yet, and maybe it'll be harder when the baby's actually born because I'm gonna be soaking up, I'm sure, every moment. But it is hard to think that this is gonna be our last and like the ending chapter of our family growing. Of course, I never want to say never because I never know. I would never have expected this pregnancy to happen, and I don't know what God's plan is, but as far as Justin and I are concerned, this is going to be the last chapter of growing our family, and that's super bittersweet. It's bitter because, oh, babies and like growing your family is such an exciting time, and it's also really exciting because now we're gonna be done with like pregnancy and all of that, and we can do fun things as the kids grow up together. So fairly close in age as well, which is really fun. So I feel a lot of different emotions. Do you still plan to extend your house and make room for future bedrooms? We're gonna have to do a whole video talking about this topic pretty soon here. No decisions have been made at this time, although we do have a couple meetings coming up where we're gonna discuss what the best option is for our family right now. One of two things though, we either have to extend ASAP or we have to move because there is not enough bedrooms for the kids here. I mean, we could potentially put the newborn in Emma's room, but that just I feel like is not gonna be the best situation, and we cannot fit 3 babies with, you know, Ruben and Asher into 1 bedroom. If they were older and Emma was like 4 and this baby was 1, we might be able to make it work, but with a newborn, I just think it's gonna be really hard. So we have a lot of figuring out to do, but we'll have follow-ups on that, I'm sure, fairly soon. How's your energy level? I'm 11 weeks with baby number 4 and I can't seem to function. Every day is different. I typically have the most energy in the mornings when I wake up, which is weird. As the day progresses, I tend to go downhill. That's when I start to get more nauseous, exhausted by maybe 7 o'clock at night. Like right when the boys go to sleep, I'm done for the day. I basically lay on the bed and do not get back up until the next morning. The mornings are the best time of day for me. I don't know if it's just because my body finally has rested for a full like 10 to 12 hours or whatever it may be, but like the nighttime is rough. So mornings I have like a good 4 to 5 hours of energy, and then it tends to go downhill. Do you feel less prepared for this pregnancy since it was more of a surprise? Not so much anymore. I definitely did at the very beginning because it was so unexpected, because it was right when we found out we had COVID. I had nothing, like because we did not know. I didn't have any prenatals. I didn't have any of like my supplements that I usually take during pregnancy. I wasn't like on like a do not eat or do not drink type of list, because usually with IVF, like you're prepared to be getting pregnant for a really long time and everything is kind of scheduled. So this, I did at the very beginning feel quite unprepared. I feel much better now that we've seen the doctors and all of that. The beginning was really weird. It was weird to not have any prenatals on hand, to not have any of my supplements, to be expecting my period and wondering what the heck is going on with my body. That part was definitely very, very weird for me. What are your cravings with this pregnancy? They varied. I think I shared this on Instagram the other day. Definitely more salty cravings than sweet this pregnancy, but I don't know if that's been every pregnancy or just this one. I have a hard time remembering. Definitely more salty than sweet, which tends to be like a boy. Like I think that's like the boy one. I think if you have a girl, you crave sweets, and if you're having a boy, you crave salty. I don't know how accurate it is. It's just an old wives' tale, but I've definitely been craving more salty, like pickles, salad, breakfast burritos, not so much the sweet stuff. Sorry if this is touchy. Do you plan to donate the embryos that you don't end up using? So because this baby was not IVF, we still have, I believe, 9 frozen embryos at our fertility clinic. I'm not gonna dive all into this right now because it's a long explanation, but I actually did an entire video, well, not like a sit-down video, but I did a video not that long ago, like I think last year, where I talked about this question, but like more in depth. So I'm gonna put that video right here for you guys. It just talks about like what our plans are for our embryos going forward, because we do still have 9 frozen, and that's definitely not a decision that comes lightly. So I have that video right here for you guys. Okay, most asked question obviously is, are you finding out the gender of this baby, or are you team green? So both of our girls, we found out the gender rather early. With Bryn, I think we found out via ultrasound at 13 weeks. weeks. Emma, we found out through the NIPT testing at about 13 weeks. But with the boys, I think it's called Team Green. I don't think we actually ever called it that, but we did not find out the gender of the boys until they were born. And it's so wild because that pregnancy with the boys, I just was so content not knowing. I don't know why, but I was very content not knowing the genders of the babies. I already felt very bonded to the babies when I was pregnant, whether or not I knew their gender or their names. So this pregnancy and Emma's pregnancy and Bryn's pregnancy have not felt that way. Bryn and Emma, I wanted to know right away, which was probably because with Bryn, it was my first baby. And with Emma, I was like so hurt from the loss of Bryn too that I really wanted to bond with the pregnancy. Then the boys, like I said, I was just so content not knowing. This pregnancy, however, it's been eating at me a lot. And Justin and I have had a lot of conversations about should we find out the gender or should we wait again? And I think we finally have come to the conclusion that we are going to find out the gender this time for a couple of reasons. One, I feel like I want to know this time, and I don't think I'll be able to wait the full amount of time. Two, because Emma she's just very convinced that this baby is a girl. Obviously, I don't know that. And I want to give her time to process whether it's a boy or a girl before the baby comes. I don't want to just come home from the hospital and be like, surprise, it's actually a boy, and her like have to deal with all that emotion. She's only 3. So I think it'll be better for her to find out early on. That way, if it is a boy, she has time to kind of process that information. She already has 2 little brothers, obviously. And if it's a girl, she'll be thrilled, I'm sure, too. But either way, it gives her time to bond with the pregnancy as well. The boys, they could not care less. They're at the age where they don't even really understand that I'm pregnant at all. So I think that that's going to be really important for her. And then the third reason was that we have so much baby stuff in storage from both the boys' pregnancy and from Emma's pregnancy. So we have a ton of boy stuff and we have a ton of girl stuff, and we don't need to keep it all. There's just too much of it. So I think we want to donate. That way we can, when we find out, we can donate. If we find out we're having a girl, we could donate the boys' clothes. If we're having another boy, then we could donate the girls' clothes. It's just too much stuff to kind of hang on to, just to hang on to. So for all of those reasons, I think we will be finding out the gender this time. And I don't have an exact day for you guys, but this is important. Don't miss this. We should have the NIPT genetic testing results in while we're in Hawaii. I've decided to take Hawaii off of vlogging. You guys have kind of just encouraged me to do that, and you guys, your comments and everything were like, just do it, just go on vacation. So Justin's actually forcing me to leave the vlog camera at home, so I'm not tempted to be vlogging during our trip because he knows me and he knows that I will. So I'm gonna leave the vlog camera at home, and the first video that I think will go up after our week off will be the gender, either the gender reveal or finding out the gender, whatever it may be. Those are gonna be the first videos when we get home from vacation. So we're gonna be gone for like a week from YouTube, and that's gonna suck, I'm sure. But you guys will have something exciting to look forward to when we come back, which is gonna be finding out what this baby is. So the short answer is yes, we will be finding out what the baby is this time, and we will share as soon as we find out. And I'm so excited to find out. And I'm almost 13 weeks in just a couple days, and that's right when we found out with both the girls. So close, and I cannot wait to share with you guys. Okay, I'll do one more question. I think that there's one more I didn't answer, which was, will you do a video of names you love but won't be using again? I think so. We did that with I think we've done it with every pregnancy, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Regardless, it's gonna be incredibly hard for us to find a name, whether we are having a boy or a girl, because we've used a lot of names. All of our kids have 2 middle names, and so it's gonna be hard to find a name that we love for a boy or a girl. So I don't know when we're gonna be able to decide that, but maybe we'll do a video like that when we know what the gender is. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm not sure if this is going to be the last video before we're gone, or if we'll try and get one more up before our vacation, but I'm gonna be posting about it on Instagram, I'm sure. I just really wanted to not be up late every night on our vacation editing when the kids are sleeping, and just be able to rest and have a good vacation without stressing about getting videos up. And this is gonna be my first time doing that, and I'm very excited about it, and also it makes me super anxious, but it'll be a big bang when we come back with the gender reveal. So thank you guys so much for watching. I feel like I'm out of breath. Maybe I was talking too fast. I'm sorry. I feel like I do that sometimes. Either that or I'm just pregnant. And we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.